This is a book review of The Secret History of Marvel Comics, Jack Kirby and the Moonlighting Artist at Martin Goodman's Empire by Blake Bell, Dr. Michael J Vassallo. Book came out in 2013, Fantagraphics Books, 300 pages, predominantly black and white, but there's a fair amount of colour, really nice quality paper, and just open the book so you can see there, spine, and decent quality paper so you can see there's lots and lots of illustrations, lots of interior illustrations, as well as the covers, and lots of interior illustrations. So I'm just going to show you some of the covers. There's some, so you can see examples. So you've got 9 exclusive detective, how many? Expose detective, national detective, amazing detective, sex health, and so on and so on. And this one, Marvel Comics. You've got Marvel turns up quite a lot, even though, to be honest, this is the book explains it. There's a lot of confusion in terms of, maybe not confusion, but certainly it was lots of different organisations, parts of companies where you got, and there's actually a nice bit at the back, really, really good one where it sort of gives you a sort of breakdown there of all the things like newsstand publications, postal publications, Western fiction publication, very unusual, Western. And then 20th Century Comic Corp, those sorts of things. So you've got lots and lots of different things. But you've also got Masked Rider. I think the Masked Rider turned up in the actual comics as well. There was a little bit of crossover. There was like Kazar. Kazar, of course, came from the Pulps into... got a lot of information. It's got a lot of things about, obviously, here. We want plenty of sex, horror and gore. Goodman editor. So you've got some great mystery tales, yield lovely maidens to the blood master. See, I'm surprised there was not any real cross sort of reference into a lot of this stuff, because there was a lot of inventive stories in here. You'd think they would have gone through this and, you know what, that would have been brilliant as a comic. Most odd. Also, he did lots of other things, like you've got Movie World there, Focus. You've got lots and lots of information about all the Humorama, Stag, Miss America magazine. So you've got the enormously successful Miss America magazine. So, stacks and stacks of information. Now, there's also Dr. Michael J Vassallo does a brilliant blog that I love looking at, where he gives so much information. So obviously, a lot of this information turns up, and he's also brought out a book recently, Atlas at War, which I am looking forward to. I haven't got a copy yet. I'm certain it's going to be amazing. Packed solid with stories as well. I'm certain a lot of useful information, so I'm looking forward to that, and of course other books as well. So Marvel science fiction, Filmland, hunting adventures, really just created loads and loads. Kazar, you've got the Kazar one. Angel, so the angel character turned up. Obviously, there was an angel back in the day, back in the golden age, as they say, 1940s. And a lot of this material, 1940s, 1930s, 1950s, etc. But of course, you've got Kazar. So things did, and Human Torch also turned up briefly, very little, but in the pulps as well. So you've got Marvel science stories. So Marvel gets mentioned quite a lot all the way through. There's a vast amount of information about all the people behind the scenes, all the various about the Funnies Inc. comic shop, New Fun, etc. Lots of articles, their stories, obviously. Then also did books as well. So you've got lots of these great books, and you've got the covers there as well. So you've got some covers of books. Angel again. Angel obviously turns up. How Sleeps the Beast. Twilight Men. So you've got a lot of information about all the pulps. A little bit about comics as well, of course. And then into some photos. You've got pictures of Martin Goodman. So you've got Martin Goodman there. And then, enjoys a chat with Charlton Heston, no less. Got also about his empire there. And then the Moonlighting Artist of Marvel Comics. Slightly unusual, because were they moonlighting? I mean, they're working with the same organisation, the same boss, Martin Goodman. Not really moonlighting. Anyway, an interesting way of saying it. However, so Jack Kirby, 1917 to 1994, he created a lot. Unmasking of the Thrill Slayer. That was a great name for a character, Thrill Slayer. Satanic Man. And they really had great titles then. What satanic madness led this homicidal schemer to believe that at last he had masterminded the perfect murder? Now that was a title. The Amazing Lover and His Bride of Death. Murder goes on a spree. Yeah, I'm not going to read that one out. A Little Matter of Murder. So you've got lots of examples again of these covers. You've got obviously description. You've also got the title, the actual 1940, and so on and so on. So Stan Lee. Now this is got a page written. There's also some more pages written by him, and then many of the other artists as well. Some that I'm familiar with, some I'm not. Bill Everett there. Carl Burgos. You got some more examples there. Of course, you've got the famous, brilliant Marvel Comics cover there. Wow. This one is the pay copy. This is one recording how much he paid the artist. Looks like $25. Not bad, I guess. Don't know. $25 sounds an awful lot. Must have been quite a bit back then. The Angel. The Angel turned up quite regularly, this guy. The Angel keeps looking different, though. There's the Angel there. The Ruthless Ones. Harry Harrison, of course, great writer he became. Also did drawings, obviously. Stan Drake, Hank Ketchum, do lovely, lovely cartoon work there. Just brilliant humour. Miscellaneous. Now this book cries out for being a massive coffee book, whatever, coffee table book. Now it would have been lovely. I would have loved to have seen that. But still, this is a brilliant book. I mean, I totally recommend this book for any. If you're into Marvel Comics, into understanding Marvel Comics, the history of Marvel Comics, interested in the history of pulps, etc. Pulp people would find this fascinating as well. So this is the trouble with this title, Secrets of Marvel Comics. I imagine that maybe there's quite a lot of people who are into pulps might not have really thought, you know what, this is all about pulp books, because there's no mention about the pulps. So even on the back, just look in the back here. Publishing. No. Treasure trove of lost artwork by comic book legends Jack Kirby, Joseph, Bill Everett, Carl Burgos, etc. Early writing Stan Lee, Rare Human Torch, Spade. You've got obviously mentions of Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, etc. But no mention of pulps, which is odd. Now, I would have thought that would have had another potential load of sales for people who are into the pulps. There is a slight problem with this book. It has obviously slightly rough there. It was a bit potentially for weakness there, because this actually is all sellotaped up because it ripped. So happens. It happens. But still, an absolutely brilliant book. Totally recommended. Secret History of Marvel Comics.